about my mother. My beautiful mother is 85 years old, and in the eyes of my brothers and sisters, she's starting to get dementia. But when I call her every day, she's just happy. She just wants to talk about her oatmeal that she have every day for breakfast. She wants to talk about cats and dogs. She sings with me on the phone. She lives in Puerto Rico. I go there once a year. And when I go there, we just play. We just have fun. So I only know the version of my mother not feeling well when I talk to my brothers and sisters. When I talk to her or go there and see her, I see a version of her that she's in the vortex.
Well, there are a lot of reasons for everything that you're talking about. So let's get real. Let's talk in really practical terms, yes? Everybody's had this kind of experience, haven't you? Esther remembers being with little kids who were a terror when they were with their mother, but when they were with Esther, they were delightful. How do you explain that? Is that a terror or is that an angel kid? Is bipolar? We're going to reach into your experiences because we can just flow words all day to you, and if it doesn't resonate with anything that you've been living, then it's just more words. And there's enough words going around to drive you all out of your minds. Words don't teach, it's your own life experience that does. So we want to activate some of your own life experiences in order for you to understand what's going on with this law of attraction thing and so forth. Jerry said to Esther, long before they were playing with us, Jerry and Esther got along so well together. Have you ever noticed that sometimes we get together with someone and it's just better than ever? And sometimes you get together with somebody and it's way worse than ever. And sometimes you get together with someone and it's no real change. And he was just tiptoeing into an understanding, easy to observe, but tiptoeing into the understanding of what we've been talking about, the bag of marbles that everybody's carrying around. In other words, everything that you've ever lived is represented by a fictitious marble in a fictitious bag. And not all of the marbles are active all the time, but the active marbles do represent what you've got going on, and they do represent what you're going to get from people. And so if you're just generally worried about things, and you've been laying down tracks about as you get old, you get dementia, or there are so many reasons that people have the thoughts that they think. Most of it is because of influence from others, and much of it is from their own experience. If when you're little, you get your toe run over by a train, you're going to have a different relationship with trains than most kids. Those meaningful experiences you tend to regurgitate and keep active in your bag of marbles. And so as you begin to pay attention, that haven't you noticed that even as much as you are doing your best to live deliberately and think deliberately and feel good, that there are residual biases or opinions that you're justified in having because you witnessed something that made you think that, but it's a bias or an opinion or a point of attraction that is not serving you. And so we've been saying, when you bump up against something like that, if you can say, is this my opinion or my intention? Because they're usually not the same. Your opinion feels like something that you're just burdened with, that just happened to you because of something that you lived and something over which you have no control. Well, it is what it is, and I can't do anything about that. That's my opinion. But every time you activate it, it affects you in some negative way, where if you could convince yourself that yes, it is an opinion, but it is not my intention, there's another end of the stick. And so let's just say that your family is on one end of the stick relative to aging and relative to the guilt they feel about what they are doing or not doing. In other words, there's a whole lot of reasons that people have different things that are active. And so we're going to take it all the way out and then all the way back in. So stay with us just for a minute. So let's say that you get together with a person. This is a buddy that you always have a good time with. And so you get together and you're keeping it light, and you have some specific successes that you talk about every time you get together. And so it's really uplifting. When you think about getting with this person, it always is a yes, I want to do that. But then you're out somewhere and somebody else that recognizes one or the other of you joins you. And now everything feels different because this person has this going on and they've got different things that are active. And now your mix is different. The marble mix changes. It just changed. And if you were not really dominant, really tuned in, tapped in, turned on with your inner being, then you may not be able to maintain the marble mix. Let's just coin that phrase here today. The marble mix. I'm not controlling my marble mix because I was ornery when I got here. And the only reason I got feeling better is because that guy cheered me up, but then that guy cheered me down. Because I got no control. I'm just kind of observing and adjusting all over the place. But if I had meditated or done some of my processes, if I'd been counting my blessings, looking at the existing positive matches so that I'm standing in a place of security, then even though that other guy showed up, maybe the two of us could maintain our balance or mostly dominate the conversation. And so now let's broaden it out. Now let's come to a gathering like this where the majority of people that are here have been listening to this before, even though so many were new to an experience like this, in the room like this, not at the workshop, but you're familiar with the information. You want to be a deliberate creator. And so in a room like this, we can go on and on. We have had some long conversations today, and there's very little impatience in this room. Most everybody is willing to stay focused for the outcome that will eventually come as the conversation and information unfolds. And so there's 2 of you, and it's going great, and then 3, and not so good. Then somebody else comes, and they're just high on life. They're more like you usually feel. And so now the marble mix is a little bit better. And so this is happening all over the world. People's perspectives has to do with their mix of marbles and who they're mixing it up with, you see. Well, you don't want to be dependent upon the marble mixes of others. It's too much to control, too much to consider. All you can do is maintain your own. So even as you are visiting with us and you're talking about the wonderful experience that you have with your mother, you introduced the other stuff into the conversation yourself. They're not even here. Those people that are worried about your mother didn't come to this party. They're not here. Oh, they're back there. No. They're not here. But you brought them into the mix. And so it's all about vibrations that are active. It's all about transmissions that are transmitting and receiving. And so what is happening is just a steady, constant, so accurate. It's the most accurate thing in all of the universe, is what's happening in response to vibrational mixes. And much of the world has their hair on fire, no matter which end of which subject they are on, because they're not true to their own intentions. They've got opinions. This is the most powerful thing we have ever said. They have opinions that are not in harmony with their own intentions. They have opinions. So you got to look for it where it is. Don't look where it isn't and condemn them that what you want isn't where you're looking. Don't look at your family that doesn't get this. They mean well. Look for it where it is. Within you, within your inner being, within the inner being of your mother, within her so much of the time.